First up is Black Bullet. Set in a near-future Japan, the world has been overrun by monstrous creatures called gastria. Humanity is pushed into small territories protected by giant monoliths made from a special metal called veranium. Our MC, Rentaro Satomi, is a promoter, a skilled fighter partnered with an initiator, a young girl with gastria powers. His partner Enju might look like a sweet kid, but trust me, she can kick harder than a football player on steroids. Rentaro's OP skills aren't just about flashy sword swings. He's precise, quick, and takes on threats most people wouldn't even get within a mile of. But what makes the romance side so good is the subtle way it develops. He shares a bond with Kisara Tendo, a swordswoman with her own tragic past, and their relationship quietly grows amidst constant danger. Now, fair warning, this anime doesn't shy away from dark moments. It hits you with loss, moral dilemmas, and those what-would-you-do situations. But that balance between heartwarming relationships and world-ending battles is exactly why it belongs on this list. This is Emiverse Anime. Watch this video to the end and hit that subscribe button now. At number 9, Chaika the Coffin Princess, Hitsugi no Chaika. This one's got mystery, action, and a title that makes you wonder what you're about to watch. Toru Akira is a jobless saboteur trained for war, but now living a pretty boring life, until he meets Chaika Trabant, a white-haired girl hauling a coffin around like it's the latest fashion statement. Turns out she's on a mission to gather the remains of her father, a fallen emperor. Toru, being the skilled OP swordsman he is, joins her quest along with his sister Akari. Here's where the magic happens. Literally, Toru's fighting style uses a combination of agility, tactics, and insane reflexes. He's not the blast everything with magic type, he's surgical in his approach. The romance here, it's a slow burn between Toru and Chaika, layered under the chaos of their mission. They start as strangers with a contract, but you can feel the growing care with each battle and close call. The mix of lighthearted travel banter, awkward romantic beats, and high-stakes encounters makes it seriously underrated. At number 8, Zetman is not for the faint of heart. If you're looking for sunshine and rainbows, you won't find it here. The MC, Jin Kanzaki, is part human, part something more, created to fight against monstrous beings known as players. When he transforms into Zet, his strength, speed, and durability skyrocket to insane levels. What makes this series hit differently is how grounded the romance feels despite the superhuman chaos. Jin's relationship with Koga's sister, Konoha, is complicated, rooted in childhood bonds and tested by the violent world they live in. You'll watch them go from innocence to the harsh realities of adulthood in a setting that doesn't pull its punches. The action is brutal, the tone is heavy, and the romance is tragic yet compelling. You're constantly asking, can love survive in a world where death is around every corner? In Zetman, that question hits harder than any punch Jin throws. At number 7, Campione. Matsura wa no Kamigami to Kamigoroshi no Mau. If you woke up tomorrow with the power to slay gods, what would you do? In Campione, Godu Kusanagi doesn't really get a choice. After defeating a rogue god, he inherits the title of Campione, a god slayer, with the power to command mythological abilities from the deities he defeats. The romance here is lively, thanks to Erica Blandelli, a knight with both beauty and brains, who pretty much declares, "Yep, I'm your girlfriend now," from day one. Their relationship is playful but also surprisingly deep when you see how they trust each other in life or death battles. And trust me, the fights are insane. Imagine giant mythological beings clashing while Godu calls down powers that bend reality. The mix of harem comedy, romantic tension, and OP magic duels makes this an entertaining ride from start to finish. At number 6, Aria the Scarlet Ammo, Hida no Aria. Kinji Toyama is just a regular student at Butte High until his hysteria mode activates. When triggered by attractive women, Kinji's combat abilities skyrocket, turning him into an elite gunman and martial artist. Yeah, the setup sounds wild, but it works. Enter Aria H. Kanzaki, a small but deadly tsundere with twin guns and twin blades. Together, they dive into cases filled with assassins, terrorists, and conspiracies. The romance is a constant tease. Kinji and Aria's banter swings from hilarious to heartfelt in seconds. The action scenes are over-the-top fun, but what makes it work is the way the romance sneaks in during downtime. Kinji's OP mode might be a gag at first, but it also sets up moments where Aria sees the best version of him, and that's where their connection deepens. At number 5, Inuyasha. Inuyasha is a legend in the anime world. Set across modern-day Tokyo and the Sengoku era, it follows Kagome, a schoolgirl pulled into the past, where she meets Inuyasha, a half-demon with absurd strength, speed, and the Tessaiga sword that can obliterate enemies with a single swing. The romance here is the backbone of the series. Inuyasha and Kagome's relationship is messy, emotional, and incredibly rewarding. There's jealousy, there's stubbornness, and yes, there's Kikyo, the other woman from Inuyasha's past who complicates everything. But through battles with demons, cursed jewels, and impossible odds, their love only grows stronger. Inuyasha's OP status isn't just about raw power, it's about how far he'll go to protect Kagome and their friends. That loyalty and determination, that's the kind of overpowered I can get behind. At number 4, Kaze no Stigma. Kazuma Yagami is the definition of cool and collected. Banished from his family for lacking fire magic, he returns years later as one of the strongest wind users in existence. His magic isn't flashy, it's precise, devastating, and delivered with a smirk that says, "I could end this anytime, but I'll let you sweat first." Ayano, his fiery cousin, literally, she's a fire magic prodigy, has an intense love-hate relationship with him. They argue constantly, but those heated moments are just as much about passion as they are about rivalry. The romance grows as they face threats together, revealing sides of Kazuma that no one else sees. Watching him soften, just slightly, around Ayano while staying effortlessly OP is what makes this anime addictive. At number 3, Shakugan no Shana. Yuji Sakai's life changes when he meets Shana, a flame haze tasked with hunting down denizens, beings who consume human existence. Yuji becomes a Misties, carrying a powerful treasure that puts him at the center of massive conflicts. Shana starts off cold and purely mission-focused, but Yuji slowly melts her walls with his kindness and stubborn loyalty. The romance is a roller coaster, filled with misunderstandings, growth, and those rare moments where Shana's tsundere shell cracks wide open. The action is intense, with Shana wielding her katana and controlling fire in ways that make her one of the most OP female leads in anime. Pair that with a love story that matures over time, and you've got a classic. Number 2, Katanagatari. This series is a visual masterpiece. Togam, a cunning strategist, hires Shichika Yasuri, the last master of a weaponless sword style, to collect 12 legendary swords. Shichika's OP skill? His body is the weapon, capable of breaking blades with his bare hands. The journey is episodic, each sword guarded by a unique and deadly wielder. The banter between Shichika and Togame is witty and charming, slowly turning into genuine affection. But this isn't a fairy tale. The ending hits like a freight train and will leave you staring at the credits in stunned silence. The balance between romance, humor, and beautiful fight choreography makes Katanagatari unforgettable. 1. Zero no Tsukaima, the familiar of Zero. At number 1, we have Saito Hiraga, a regular high schooler who's suddenly summoned to a magical world by Louise, a mage with a knack for blowing things up. At first, Saito's just her servant, but after bonding with the legendary sword Derflinger, he becomes an unstoppable fighter. The romance between Saito and Louise is chaotic in the best way. They bicker, they make up, and they protect each other fiercely when danger strikes. The magic school setting adds charm, but the political intrigue and large-scale battles give Saito plenty of chances to show off his OP hero moments. By the end, you're rooting for them as much as you're hyped for the fights. And there you have it, 10 romance anime where the MC isn't just stealing hearts, but also wrecking enemies with insane power. Whether you're here for the action, the love stories, or both, these shows deliver. Drop your favorite OP romance MC in the comments, and if you enjoyed the list, hit that like and subscribe for more anime goodness.